Welcome to Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Nila. So this is episode 27 of our Let's Play. Thank you everyone for following along, and we are now starting in hyperspace on our way back to the anchor system where we have our Dyson Sphere in progress. Let's have a look. We're gonna head towards Anchor 2, which is right up here. You can see out there, even from hyperspace, it looks awesome. And can I hit the planet? And there we go. And let's land on the planet in a casual manner. There we go, smooth as silk. And that is our Dyson Sphere. And hold on, I just need to zoom out here so we get to the systematic layer, or I don't know what we can call it, system layer. There we go, our little ball of happiness in here. So yeah, progress is being made, but what you can also see is there are new blue lines of lasers coming in, and this here is just the last bit of our Dyson swarm that's forming into this. So it's actually, we are in a position. Can I actually open the production overview? Yes, I can. If I look at, yeah, so we're not getting solar panels, and I need to figure out why. Well, I do know why, but I want to show you why. Because we already knew that when we built it. Isn't it IOTA Corvi? Yes. Optical grading crystals. That has been, look at that, the production here. A tiny bit of mining. This has been a tiny constant bit of mining, and then a ship goes out, a ship goes out, a ship goes out. But now, I don't know, 15 minutes ago, it stopped. We ran out of optical grading crystal. If we run out of grading crystals, we run out of photon combiners. If we run out of photon combiners, we run out of solar cells. So we're no longer producing solar cells at our dedicated solar cell factory. Now that's one thing we could fix or could work our way towards. But I think that we also need to work on something else. And this episode will be focused primarily on scaling, because I think that's a super important thing to do. And it'll at the same time be preparing for our purple and green science, but it'll also solve our blue science needs. So that's really the focus for today. So you can see it still needs like a lot. That's like, I don't know, maybe 500,000 solar cells or something. So it's not quite done yet. And here, let's see, 50 gigawatts of power, and I have nothing to use this power on. That's kind of the problem. I am using a lot of it for the critical photons, but the critical photons really only have two uses. The antimatter fuel cells, which I use all the time, but they have so much that I don't really need it, and the white science, which I don't really need as much of either. So we don't have a lot of things to actually use it for. We are on this anchor planet. This anchor planet has a number of industries available to us, and we're going to continue building some more industry on this planet if I can just find a good and proper location. That's a good and proper location. Someone has carefully left some space open. That is very convenient of whoever did that. So this one, if we look at this planet, it has 20 million iron, 20 million copper. So let's start using that. Let's make sure that we strip mine this one and just get everything we can. So stone is pretty much running out. Silicon is almost running out, and titanium is never ever going to run out because there's just nothing using titanium in vast quantities. But iron and copper, we can start really mass consuming that. So by the end of this episode, I think we've maybe are going to use upwards of 1,000 iron per second. That's the plan. Let's actually that's interesting. Let's look at, oh, I can't do that. It's gonna run out. It's the issue with scaling it up is that it's gonna run into some bottlenecks immediately. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to start making the ingredients that we need for the blue matrix. The blue matrix needs like the very basic things. And when we build it, and it was happy, and then we started drawing from it all sorts of things from the same sort of pond of coils and circuits, and it just doesn't add up. Because if we look at it, coils are needed for motors are needed for sorters and for turbines. Turbines are needed for the thrusters, the sorters, the conveyors, and the particle colliders, unless you use the unipolar. So you can see like it's tons of things that all go back to the magnetic coils. Likewise, on the circuit side, this is used for a number of buildings, but primarily it's actually used for the processors, and processors are used for quantum chips, for assembling machines, and for purple science. So you see that we definitely need a a lot of circuits in order to feed our processor build and all the other things that also need it. So that's we're going to start with making circuits, and we're going to build it here. Basically, one of the things that I would recommend is that you find out where you want different things. So this is a small build, so you build it on these bands that are closer to the poles because you don't need as much space. While things that are bigger, for example this one, there's a bigger iron or copper and iron and silicon. They can be nicely put in this band. The big things here, this is going to be a big iron patch, and I also have another one sort of cleaned out there. There's a big copper patch as well. So you kind of find out at what bands you need to reserve for various things. And that's what we're going to do now. We are going to do the usual. And what we want to do here is a circuit. I mean, we're just going back to the very basics. We're building circuits. Seriously. 2 iron, 1 copper, and 2 circuits out. Super easy. And I am going to get it as close to the edge as I can, which is going to be here. That's going to be the outbound, so you can go over there, and then I can take that out, and then I can go in here. That one. This will be the outbound or the homebound returning, and this will be, I'll need copper, I need iron, and I need here, and I need some warpers as well. Alright, so at this location, getting iron, because iron is consumed at twice the quantity of copper, so we also want to make sure that we get it out here in twice the quantity. So we're going to get 1 belt of copper and 2 belts of iron there, so that the next one on the inside can actually grab from the iron that will be dedicated to this, and the copper iron here will be dedicated to this, and that means we can now build a return line here. That one, and we're gonna have 2 return lines because each row will do 30, and in order for me to actually do that, we have to figure out how big it has to be. Each of these will produce 2 per second by default, and then speed 1.5, so 3 per second. That means I can only have 10 of these in a row. Does this look like 10? It looks pretty much like 10, I think. There. And get the outbound. Oh, it can just barely fit. Great. And the copper. Also. And more iron here. And then we've built out on the outside, and there should still be... Oh, that's not correct. That's still not correct. There. And there should still be just enough space to sneak it back here. Sweet. Sneak it back and go into the rear entrance there. And that should actually be pretty much it. Oh yeah, the stuff we always forget is powering up this one immediately. Just make sure this one's powered, right? There. And we get some sorters. This will be the outbound. I'll get from iron, I'll get from copper, I'll get from iron, I'll get from copper. And I'll put output, and you go an output, and from iron belt, from copper belt, from iron belt, from copper belt, and output. And then it's just a matter of copy pasting. That's gonna be 1, 2, no, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, the horror! Look at how inaccurate I am with my belt length. Have like a flawed intuition for how big a build is. There. And the next one. Give me. Come on. There. There. Yeah, we could switch to. So I could do a lot of things. Like I could switch to the God mode to make it faster. I could do a little time lapse on this, but honestly, by the time I've warmed up to say let's do a time lapse of this, we're already done. See? It is so damn fast, this little build here. We'll do it when there's something else to build. And there's something else with that one is off, that one's off. There. So this thing is taking 4 full belts of iron. That's 120 iron per second. And I will we'll put some of these in. We'll squeeze them in. They gotta be here, right? They gotta be able to get there. And so it's 60 copper per second, 120 iron per second, and a total of... What? I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, my intuition was actually flawless. It's my counting that sucks. Oh no. So my intuition is good, but my counting is bad. Alright, well. Counting to 10 is also deceptively difficult. I should say that. There are many 3-year-olds who will have difficulty doing that. I don't know. Is that something you... Wait, what? Can you count to that? I don't know. I don't know. Clearly I can't count to 10. So... And you can delete your comment about me being unable to count to 10, because clearly I can count to 10 now. There. That's 10. This is 120 circuits per second. Let's get this up here. And how easy this is to demand local. And I am going to provide and supply local here. I am going to demand local. Not do anything else here. Just demand it local. Well, actually, maybe I should demand it remotely as well when it is already full. So I want to fill it up first with local supplies and then keep it supplied with local supplies, which should be possible, right? And we'll do... It's interesting that I have so much copper here and I'm not really using it, but yet I can't really produce it fast enough. I can't bring it in fast enough. There, I'll just put that one in. Boom. So we are now getting this one. We can build more of these, and we absolutely are. But I think it's more interesting for us to start building some of the other builds that we'd like to get. So this one, let's see. We're definitely going to need some iron and copper here, because like we could see how the copper was just not keeping up. So we have this big build here, and I think this is also where I've been doing a lot of iron and copper builds, and now it's the time for us to sort of settle on this is the way we want to do it. We've done it in many different iterations, but this is the way that I'm going to be happy about it, and from now on, that's how we do it, I think, maybe. So, how would that work? It would start actually with some power. Yeah, I think it'll start with some power from this side. Let's start with this one, because the reason why I want to start with power is because I'm gonna have like something, I don't know, maybe like this or maybe like this, but some kind of powering like this, and then I'll have a line here and a line here. I'm going to set up my towers, and I tried it with one tower, but the thing is with one tower, if you have one tower, obviously you can have 12 outbounds from one tower, but you can't have any inbounds. But you can have 6 outbound and 6 inbounds. But that's only 6 lines of 30. That's only 180 per second. That's not much. And also, if you take one of these and demand 180 per second, it's going to be really difficult to actually get it. So I've actually opted for a different design that goes a bit against how we did set things up. 1, 2.5. So these are now going to be 2 lines here, and you can see that there's a really appropriate space in here. I don't know, appropriate space, that was a silly way to say this. The one thing we want is to make sure that we can have all of this within here. So I am going to take, let's take this one and see if I can get something meaningful. We want 4 lanes, so we need 8 outputs here. 8 outputs, that is going to be all except 1. 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and 2 in the middle. I think that's going to be good. So for example, we could take something like, we could take copper. Did I even set copper out? No, I didn't. Okay, copper out. So we could take copper out. Come on, there. And then it would be, hello, autosave. And it's gotta be close. Gotta be damn close. Because it's barely room for it. That I know. And then this will go back into here. And I get the next copper outbound. And I get you. Yeah, this looks very, very good. Very good. Very good. And I'll get this one as a return. And you're gonna be here. This, oh, this is very good. I like it. And returning. and the last one will be the output that goes on this side. We're really out of belts. Out of belts. What? There. We're gonna need a lot of belts. We are going to need a lot of sorters. We actually have a lot of these already, so that should be good. Right, so this is pretty much how I want to make it. The one concern is this close enough? Because when you build 30 down here, and if you can put 29 and then you run into that one, it's gonna be a bad time. But I think this is gonna be close enough. And then we basically do the same for the other one, but it's gonna be mirrored. I think mirrored is better to do. It looks better if it's mirrored. That one. Let's just get the indicators up here. That would be copper outbound. Here, and like that. That'll be returning. This will also be returning, and then I'll get the copper out here, and then this one will be returning. Right, so this is a return line, this is a return line, and on this we'll have and return and raw materials. I have many different words that I can use. There we go. So that's then we just need to build it, and when this is built, we are gonna get 240 copper per second. I think that's pretty good. Let's give it a shot. And that's it. Super easy to make, to be perfectly honest. I'm still a bit surprised at how easy it actually is to build it now. Just the fact that we just got a couple weeks or 1 week or something with absolute horror of repetitive stress injury, and then this mod came along. There was exactly the mod that I was requesting in one of my first episodes, and I don't know if the mod maker actually watched my video and did it, and it doesn't matter at all. The only thing matters is that we now have it. So I am not providing it here, and I'm not providing it here, but I am going to be requesting and requesting. Alright, let's see if these can keep up. Yeah, that's easy. 1000 is coming really quick. And we have a flurry of little drones flying around here. That's so cool. Look at that. It just draws it in from the entire planet, and we are already starting to work. And I like that. We now have hooked up 240 additional copper per second, and it doesn't even take a long time. I mean, especially doesn't take a long time when you time loop it, but even without a time loop, it's like 10 minutes. And if you can 10 minutes can hook up 240, you just do it, right? Just do it, and then take another one, do that. The biggest problem at this point is actually hooking up miners, because there's no way of automating it. I'd really like some kind of big miner that was more of a proximity miner, just plop it down and then mines all the stuff in the vicinity, like something like this, like a miner here that you just plop down and has an area that works super nice. Look at that, also charging, by the way. We're just not able to use the power, so we spend it on charging batteries. So now we certainly have enough copper. We can do the same for iron as well. But we're gonna do more than that. We are going to build a processor build, because why not? Why not indeed? We're going to build some processors. So we're just going to go all in on big designs here. Let's see if we can find a good space. But I think that we have some... I'd like to have like... I don't know if I want it here or there. I think maybe this location is a good place for a processor build. Oops. And yeah, let's do this one for a processor build. There. And then we'll also do... The reason why I want to do a processor build is because it just... it's going to be needed to have lots of processors, and it's a difficult build, so we want to make sure that we get that going. Right, so processors are significantly worse than the other builds, and that's we also need to do more of those. Let's start by saying it, because we've actually done that a number of times before. So it starts out by having a microprocessor. What is it called? It's called microcrystalline component, of course. And I'm just gonna get some more of these. Just by coincidence, I'm gonna put 4 down here. And we are going to ignore the 1.5 crafting speed because we're just looking at ratios between buildings. So this is 1 every 2 seconds. So this means this 2 of these are making 1 per second. This is making 1 per second. So I'm going to add just randomly right here. We've done this design before. This one will then be processor build. Copy to the other ones. And the processor build is using 2 of the microcrystalline every 3 seconds. Okay, so if I have 3 of these buildings, it's going to be 2 every second, which is just happens to be exactly what this one is producing. So the ratio here is 4 microcrystalline to 3 processors, and that's what we want to do. So what I need to get in at this point is that this one is going to get some copper and some iron inbound, and then copper, iron inbound, because twice as much copper as... No, twice as much... It's not copper and iron, it's copper and silicon. Twice as much silicon as copper for this build. And then on this side, we're going to have an outbound build, and we're going to have the green circuits that we just built. So we are going to start in the middle because it's going to be symmetric. So I am going to start by saying, what are the things we want? We want that one, and we want that one, and we want greens, and we want the processors, and I want this one. And this is the perfect example for anyone who is saying, why are you always using interplanetary or interstellar? Why are you using that? Why not use the planetary? They're cheaper. And cheap is such a weird word in this context at this stage of the game. But 1, 2, 3 inbounds, 1 outbound, that means you can't do it with the planetary, and you can't request it, provide it off planet. So it's just not a good thing to do that. I really... So something I've been thinking about, if they wanted to balance and they want us to use the planetary instead of always using the interplanetary, the only way I can see that they would could do it is by saying, if you use an interstellar, it's not interplanetary, it's interstellar logistic station, it does not have ports in and out. That's the only way I can see it. So that means that you can only take the interstellar, you can get things in with the logistics vessels, and you can get things out. You can sort of bring it to around the planet with drones, but not with belts. The fact that you can use belts in and out of this is then there is really no... It completely supersedes the planetary. But if you couldn't use belts for this one, then you would have to make some planetary import-output location and then distribute it to the planetary ones that would then be feeding the build. I honestly think that would be a better design, so that you'd be forced to think about how do you get things into the planet and off the planet, and then on the planet you would actually deal with, okay, how do we request things from, let's say, a polar import hubs, import and export hubs. That, I think it would be better, but I mean, this is the way it is now, and maybe they didn't think about it, maybe they don't want it. That's also an option. But I think it would be sort of more in line with what you'd want to use, so that it doesn't just become like, oh, okay, always just use the interstellar, because why not? There's no reason not to use the interstellar. And of course it would be a nerf, and people would rant about it, and I don't think this company, being such a small company, honestly has the guts to say like, nope, this is our vision, this is how it's going to be. And that's, one can hope, but those are the kind of things where where oh, is that too close? Yeah, I think it might be too close. We'll see. We'll see. So far so good. And these are of course going out. So that's just, I mean, that's just my opinion. It doesn't have to be correct or anything. It's just one of those things that I've been thinking about. Like, it's at this point, there is no reason to use the planetary. If you use the planetary, you're ending up in a situation where you're gonna regret actually using them, and that's bad. So they build a building that looks cool, it has cool functionality, but it doesn't get used because it's simply just overshadowed by another building. So how do you solve it? You have to find a way to solve that problem, or maybe you don't know, depends. But that was just my little sort of casual guess, or not guess, but like thoughts on how I would balance that. But it would be unpopular. It would be super unpopular. It would break every save game, by the way. Which is, I don't care. It's just, alright, if the save game breaks, then we have an opportunity to either fix it or move on. It's one of the things that I also noticed with Satisfactory, that they were really careful about sort of, oh, this might break the save game. I was like, so what? As long as it's early access, don't care about breaking save games. I mean, it's great that you warn about it, but yeah, maybe that's also just because I play a lot and I don't mind sort of starting over. But if you like have one single base that you played for all of your life, then I can understand it. Is this too far away? It might be me chatting away and then forgetting to actually build properly. I mean, this definitely works, but I'm just more curious about, would this work? Or is it too close? It works. Damn it. Alright, why didn't you say something? I was just ranting away and you didn't say anything. You're supposed to catch my mistakes here. This is also why I love live streaming, because then those errors I do will be caught a lot faster. Yeah. Luckily it doesn't take very long to do this. Yeah. Now, is this too close? We have to test it. Nope, it is not too close. It is just perfect. And this will be... Come on. And then we'll have the copper out. Get that there. Copper. And copper goes all the way there. Alright, so let's have a look at this. This will produce 1 per second. So this whole thing will produce 2 per second. And then the crafting speed, that means 3 per second. So how much do I need of this? Oh, I think I made a mistake here. Oh, I absolutely made a mistake. There's no way that there's room for it. This one has to go one back there. Back there. It absolutely does. Yeah, it does. Alright, there is no reason for you to... well, you know what? We've done the design, and I'll just do the sorters here. And then I will have to fix it myself. Just so you get a sense of... just keep making more mistakes. Then I'm gonna have to fix it, because I built it in a place there's just not enough room. Ah? Oh, that's because it's already there. And these ones will go... Take this in, take this out, take this in, take this out. Yeah. So this is the one I want, and... I think I have to build it from this one. That means I need to remove this to somewhere else. And then build it this way. And then maybe just kink the corner here. So it's gonna be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 5 of these builds in a row, and this is 2 builds. This is gonna be 3 builds. And then it's gonna be 4. Yeah, it's pretty obvious to see that there's just not enough room here. Alright, I will do that, and then we can... we'll see how that works. And so this has been built, just shifted it over to the other side, and now this is ready. Let's start hooking this one up and see if we can get what we want from this. And I'm gonna get like local supply, and you know, I'm gonna do local supply on all of them, and then see how things go. We should have all of these available. This one's going slowly, but I really think that this should be going way quicker, because we do know we have it. We just built it. And once this one's all the way up, I can also change it here. Now this one, the silicon is definitely not going to be enough by just requesting it locally, for sure. So that will also have to request from another location. I think Anchor 3 has a dedicated silicon production. This one is really weird why we're not getting it. I'll do that. I don't think that's going to make any difference, but we definitely need to make more of these. Let's have a look at the quantities coming in. And oh yeah, we're actually already building processors. So what we've done so far is we made circuits, we made lots more smelting for copper, and we have made processors. What we are then need to do is we need to make 2 more of these and 3 more of the circuits, and also an iron processor build. That's probably just something I don't want to do either in one way or the other, because that's just going to be a lot. So let's just get that done, and then we'll move to another planet to make the magnet, because that's kind of an important thing to do. And so here we are. We lots of things has happened in the meantime, but we have certainly just built something here. That's 30 circuits per second. This is another 30 circuits per second. No, not circuits, processors. And if we go to the middle of the world here, we have our ones we built. We have our copper that we built here, that one, and then we also have a iron correspondingly over on this side. What more do we have? What more do we have? Indeed, we have another 30 circuits science 30. What are they called? Processors per second. So we're now up to 90, and this is our circuit builds. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 480 circuits per second. Yeah, that's pretty good, huh? That's pretty good. So we certainly have enough of that, and what we need to do is now we need to go to the other location. We've also been managed to getting our hands, our grubby little mitts, on some additional some additional solar ingredients, solar cells. As you can see, we are absolutely just destroying this planet here, or this one here. It looks so good. Look at how solid that line is. I just couldn't just stand there and look at it not being functional. So boom, we're gonna go to this planet. This planet is, oh, go faster. I can barely get closer. Look at this. I just absolutely love this. This one is not actually the good side. This is the small side. Oh really? Wow, we're actually consuming these at a decent rate. Nice. This is perfect. That means I need to scale up. Perfect. Because each of these consume 125. That is absolutely surprisingly awesome. Nice. And now that we are here, yeah, let's get some of this as well, because now we're going to use this planet. This planet has an abundance of iron ore, and that means we're going to do some tapping on this one, and it's time for us to take this planet and actually make it into an industrial hub of some sort, where we actually do more than just shoot at the poor hapless star. What is our Dyson Sphere now? 56. Yep, it goes quick when you have a swarm. The swarm is providing majority of the additional part here, but that's it's good. So well, what are we gonna do? We are going to take here, we're going to build our power lines outbound so we can figure out what it is, and we're also going to spam this planet here with some concrete so we can actually start industrializing it. What we need to do is make some, yeah, we could make it just a small ring up here. Let's do that. Let's make it a small ring. I'm just going to be putting some concrete down, and then we'll be finding some place to build. So I may have bit off more than I can chew here. That was a monstrous project I just started on, combined with all the other things. So I'm trying to cut my losses here and just make sure that I actually get an episode out today. And that's what that means is I've tapped a few of these locations, and since each of these is 2.5 million, 2 point something million, I have 1, 2, 3, 3 iron locations and 2 copper locations. That should be okay for now. And then I've marked some spots here and here. Those were sort of the spots that I could find that had sort of a certain number of size, a certain size, and I could also expand it, and it would not conflict. So what I want to do is I want to make 2 things here so we can get our blue cubes up and running, and it's still just going absolutely crazy on our scaling here this episode. Crazy scaling, that's what it is. So what I'm going to do here is I'm simply going to take a lot of these inbound, and they're going to just turn into magnets. It's that simple. It is that simple. It might be more complicated than that now that I think of it. So what is it? What does that look like? That looks like, yeah, first of all, it looks like I need more belts for everything. You actually need quite a bit of belts for doing mining operations as well. You need so many belts, and every 3 belt is 1 of the super magnets. So yeah, super magnets are also needing, hold on, super magnets, they obviously need both 3 magnets. Oh, I'm gonna need so many of these. All right, let's figure out how this is gonna be. It's gonna pan out like that. This one, I don't really know. Okay, so the thing is, this here is on a 1.5 second cycle. So if I have 30 of these in a row, then I only get 20. If I have, yeah, so I get 20. So if I have 30 of those, and I only get 20, that also means I could get 45 in a row, and then I would consume 4 belts. So yeah, maybe 45. How big do we want it? It's gonna go, since it's 1 in 1 out, then I think I'll go exactly like I've done before. Come on, like this. I'll get, well, this is gonna be very far, very long, this belt. So, and then it goes back here. We can't do, no, I'll do this one, and it's gonna be close. It's gonna be right there, and this will now be the returner there, and then I get, nope, I forgot this one. We're just gonna see how big we think we can make it out of 1 hub, or whether we need to get 2 hubs out of this. Let's just look at the other location, whether that's better. This location can be extended 1 further. So you know what? You know what we actually have done? We've done this before. This is actually much better to build right in here, because it's gonna be so freaking huge. Come on, move forward. Somehow just get stuck there. Alright, so we are going to do the same thing that we have done before. Then let's just do some design on it. It's going to be 1, 2, and right in the middle. And then it's going to be there. We'll get some of these power poles here. Some big ones there. And I don't know, let's call it out there on the sides. And I'll do the same thing for this one. It'll be iron and, nope, not this, but actually still gonna be the same what you just did. I'll just make it in very small scale. Yep. And that goes back, and yeah, so I'm gonna get it. So it's, yeah, it's gonna be this size. It's gonna be this size. This is making perfect sense. Perfect sense. And then the return, and the last one out here, which I then obviously can't remember how that's gonna be. It's gonna be 1 out here. There, and all of these will of course be now made into magnets. The magnets will then be 45 in length. Subscribe. Yeah, that's gonna be big. All right, let's try building this one. Right, and it should be pretty simple. This goes inbound and out In, out, in, out, in, out. There, and then I just don't know how big this is gonna be, but it's gonna be big. Let's try building this and see how that goes. Once you lay this out, it's actually pretty simple to build as long as you have enough materials, which comes back to the whole supply thing. That one, I'm gonna get some warpers. I have a few extra warpers from random things I picked up along the way, and that's gonna go down to, come on, 100. And supply, demand, this is gonna be primarily local. And yeah, I don't know if I can actually have enough here. It's actually a bit surprising how low they're... Like this one... This one? Why is it not sending all of it? Oh, because it just hasn't mined enough. And then I'm gonna just get some remote as well. Boom. Right, so what are we doing here? This is 120 magnets per second. And obviously we're gonna double it, but let's move on to the other thing instead. So now we need to convert the magnets into some coils. And that might also be a bit of a challenge here in terms of sort of sizing. I wonder if I could actually fit in 2 of these in this location. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I could do it like that, but I couldn't do... This one I couldn't do. No, that's too close. Alright, so let's start by just assuming that we need one. And actually this one is where it can scale out. No, it's not gonna be that big. Alright, that means we are going to build this. I don't know how this is going to be built. So this one. 2 in, 2 out. So I think the location we're going to do is... It's going to be like the green circuits. It's pretty good. It's going to be exactly like the green circuits, right? Yeah, which means it could be built up here, which is closer. Can I build it? Is it allowed to be building this close to... yep, it is. But on the other hand, this might be somewhere where I'd really like to expand my shooty. I think I could imagine that. That's why I didn't want to build there. So it's obviously better to get one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get coils. I'm going to get copper, right? Yeah, coils and copper and... magnets, copper and coils. Okay, so I am going to take here, magnets. Lots and lots of good magnets there. Then I'm going to take some copper to go on the side, and I'm going to get some more coils. No more magnets. There. Then on either side of this, I'm going to put one of these, and they will now need... What? They just need an out? Oh yeah. I could actually get more coils here. I keep calling it coils. More magnets. Alright, I think we're onto something here. We can actually make it slightly bigger than I thought, which is good. Oh, what I did there was actually I changed this one. Did not even see that. There. Yeah, and I can take one more. And then I... Oh, no. Oh, I don't think that's gonna work. No, it's not gonna work. Damn, because if I take one more, it's gonna be one that's magnets and then another going back. That's gonna use 2 on the back side here, and this one will then use 2 on the back side. Yeah, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work quite well. I could do it. Okay, I could do it in a different way. That will be slightly better. Good thing we don't have to redo this many times. Let's do this one. That's the inbound. And then we build these on the side. Here. Here. This will simply be the outbound. Where is it? Where is it? That one. Copy, paste. I'm gonna need this. That one. And on this side, I'll get. Oops. There. Okay, this is. I was just getting confused here, and now I can take copper here, and I'm gonna take copper on this side. And then again, some more coils. Still not coils, magnets. More magnets. On the other side, more magnets. Yes. And then I can take one here and one here. And they'll just need to go back. Much more reasonable. Don't use the stuff on the back, and we get a pretty decent amount. So each of these will consume and produce 2 per second, so that's going to be 3 because of crafting speed, and again only 10 of these I can do in one row. So just a bit further. I think it has to go this much. That should be enough, and then we'll just see if we can hack it together. How much will this consume? This will consume 120 per second. So again, these are just consuming absolutely ridiculously fast. Out. And this is going to be magnets and copper and magnets and copper and magnets and copper, magnets and copper, and yeah. Alright, let's build this. This is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. 8, 9. Alright, that intuition is not completely gone. Maybe counting is not working well, but intuition is working fine. So basically I would need to make 2 of these and 2 of the other ones, and then I'll be having enough. But we'll just make 1 here, and then we got the picture. Whether we do 1 or 2, it's gonna be the same. It's just twice as much work. But the interesting thing is making these designs. What I think is the lesson we hopefully learn from this today is primarily the fact that, yeah, just build big. Build bigger than you think. You're gonna need it, and if you don't need it, doesn't matter. It's just gonna be idling. So that's the main lesson for today. Just absolutely scale to stupid size. This is going to help us so much in the future by just having processors done, electronic circuits, or electric circuits, and now also magnets. Here I'm going to request, so we're going to get that one. I know I don't have so much left. Here, yeah. Let's get, and I'm going to bring in local demand. I don't have any local demand here. We will probably build it at some point, but I don't know. This one will definitely only be local demand, and that should be what I need. This one will be both local and global supply. So from here, as soon as I see this working, I will of course need to double that and also double this, so we get 240. But right now 120 is 4 times as much as we need for the blue science. So let's just get this inbound so we can see it works, and then it's all the last thing we need to do is just basically hook it up to our planet or our science facility. Here it comes, right? Nope, that's not it. I wonder where they're actually coming from. I see some things coming in. Are you coming into this one? Oh, it might be. Looking good, looking good. Looking bad. You're not coming in for this one. Oh well, we definitely have these inbound from somewhere, but who knows where. Meantime, let's look at our... Okay, just while I've been doing this, it's been scaled up to 62.5 gigawatts of power. And I am unable to absorb enough of the solar sails into orbit at this point. So I'm probably running out of these. They will probably run out. Probably should be stopping the shooting a bit, just control shooting, but this is just so awesome. Just having a constant laser pointed at the orbit, just filling it up. So cool. This one is also shooting a bit, but this is the insane one. That's actually here on this planet. Oh yeah. Oh, did we get it? Yeah, we did get it. Everything is good. This one's going. The interesting thing is, if it hits 1000, and the question is then, will it immediately fly out? Nope, it does not. Perfect. So let's just look at this one as we go towards our science planet to hook up the science. Ah, that looks great. It's basically all of them shooting. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm just trying to see if I can see this one. Oh, it's actually even keeping up during these reckless times of lasering. Yep, we need more nodes. Remember, more nodes in your Dyson Sphere makes it easier to absorb things. Okay, so now we need to find GD Prime and just jump there. Oh, GD Prime. That is our science facility. Now let's build our blue science. All of this for blue science? No, 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 no. All of this because we are going to need to scale up everything by vast increases. So let's jump there, put you to sleep, and I'll see you there. And we are now back in the GD Prime system, and here is our fantastic science facility. The irony of all that we've been doing is that the only thing we can really see that it has an impact is by doing that one and that one. And these might not be coming in as fast as possible because it's only the time that we've been spent building it. Although there's probably also somewhere else that we're providing it somewhere in the galaxy because... Okay, so it wasn't all of it. It wasn't an instant 10,000, but definitely it's coming inbound here. And what that also allows us to start our science again. We could start the science and I could sort of have it running, but I really just, yeah, I like this. We'll just get this one. I'd like to get all of them to 10 and then basically just fire off some more. Some more here. This is such a beautiful location. I'm so happy about it. The funny thing is going to be when I decide that this is not big enough and I want to double the size. Well, then I can just put in twice as many here, or I can make them out on the other side as well. So it is actually, this is built so that I could double it if I feel so inclined. Because honestly at this point 30 per second doesn't feel at all daunting in any way, shape or form. It really doesn't feel daunting at all. Let's see, do we... Yeah, let's... Oh, there we go. That's the first one coming in. First material, and... Oh, I see a little kink here. That one has to be green. Right, so now they go down both sides. I have both of them coming in. And we have the blue is just spinning along. Would be nice if it was just more spinning here. There. Alright, that's gonna be it for us. We have now, this one is just keeping up. Hopefully it'll keep up here. It definitely will, because we're producing at 120 and I'm only here consuming at 30 per second. So this will definitely slow down and then I'll get more loads inbound as well. So that's gonna be it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. That was all about scaling, not really any new planets. We went back and looked at our planets and then just give it a big boost for sort of basic components. Hope you enjoyed that as well, but it's part of the game. What we're going to do next time is start scaling up some things that we need for the green science. I think we'll do green science before purple science, but let me know if you have any other preferences. Those are the ones we need, green and purple science for our giant build here. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. If you like it, hit the like button. If you have comments, hit the comment section. You know the drill. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing if you want to keep up with all the Dyson Sphere content coming here on the channel. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay effective.